Inner balance does not come from trying to control every thought, feeling, or situation in your life. Control creates tension, and tension is the opposite of peace. In Buddhism, awareness is the doorway to balance. Awareness means you notice what is happening inside you without immediately reacting to it. You see your thoughts as thoughts, your emotions as emotions, and your sensations as sensations. You do not push them away, and you do not cling to them. You simply recognize them. When you live without awareness, your mind runs on autopilot. A single thought can pull you into hours of worry. A small emotion can shape your entire day. But when awareness is present, you create a pause between what happens and how you respond. That pause is powerful. It is where wisdom lives. It is where you choose calm instead of chaos, understanding instead of judgment, and presence instead of escape. Inner balance begins the moment you stop asking, "How do I fix myself?" and start asking, "What is actually happening in me?" Right now, you begin to listen instead of fight. You begin to see instead of suppress. And slowly, gently, balance grows not from force, but from clear and compassionate awareness of your own inner world. Stillness is often misunderstood as doing nothing, as stepping away from life or avoiding responsibility. In Buddhism, stillness is something very different. It is not the absence of movement, but the presence of clarity. It is what happens when the mind is no longer dragged around by every impulse, fear, or desire. You can be in the middle of a busy day and still be inwardly still. You can be walking, working, or speaking, and yet feel grounded and steady inside. When the mind is restless, everything feels urgent. Every thought demands attention. Every emotion feels like an emergency. But when stillness is present, you begin to see things as they truly are, not as your anxiety paints them. You notice the difference between what needs to be done and what is just mental noise. You stop reacting to life as if everything is a threat. Start responding with wisdom and care. This kind of stillness is not about escaping the world. It is about meeting the world with an open and settled heart. It allows you to move through challenges without being shaken at your core. In that way, stillness is not passivity. It is strength in motion, the quiet power of a mind that knows how to be present without being pulled apart by everything it encounters. Emotions feel very personal. When sadness comes, we say, "I am sad." When anger arises, we think, "I am angry." But in Buddhism, emotions are not who you are. They are experiences that pass through you. Like guests knocking at your door, they arrive, stay for a while, and then leave. The problem begins when you build your identity around them and start believing they define you. When you see emotions as visitors, you stop fighting them, and you also stop obeying them. You allow sadness to be there without letting it turn into hopelessness. You let anger be felt without letting it become cruelty. You notice fear without letting it decide your future. This does not make you cold or detached. It makes you wise and compassionate with yourself. Awareness gives you the ability to say, "This is anger," instead of, "This is me." That small shift changes everything. You create space between who you are and what you feel. In that space, you can care for your emotions instead of being ruled by them. You can ask what they need, what they are trying to show you, and when it is time to let them go. Inner balance grows when you welcome emotions as teachers, not masters. You listen to them with respect, but you do not give them the keys to your life. Many people believe peace comes from avoiding pain, avoiding change, or avoiding difficult emotions. But in Buddhism, true peace does not come from running away. It comes from understanding attachment. We suffer not because things change, but because we try to hold on to what is meant to move. We cling to people, roles, achievements, and even two versions of ourselves that no longer fit who we are becoming. Non-attachment does not mean you stop loving or caring. It means you stop trying to possess, control, and freeze life in one shape. You learn to appreciate without gripping, to enjoy without needing, and to love without fear of loss ruling your heart. When you cling, every shift feels like a threat. When you let go, every shift becomes part of the natural flow of life. Avoidance makes you smaller. Non-attachment makes you free. You stop pushing away discomfort and start meeting it with understanding. You allow joy to come without demanding it stay forever. You allow pain to come without believing it will define you forever. In this way, peace is not fragile. It does not depend on everything going right. It comes from a deep trust in impermanence and a willingness to open your hands instead of tightening your fists around life. Many of us try to be kind to others while being harsh with ourselves. We speak to our own hearts in ways we would never speak to someone we love. In Buddhism, compassion begins at home, within your own mind. If you cannot treat yourself with understanding, patience, and care, it becomes very difficult to offer those qualities sincerely to anyone else. Self-compassion is not self-pity, and it is not weakness. It is the courage to meet your imperfections without cruelty. It is the willingness to see your struggles without turning them into shame. When you make a mistake, compassion says, you are human. When you feel lost, compassion says, you are allowed to be here exactly as you are. This inner kindness creates safety inside you, and from that safety, healing begins. When you practice compassion toward yourself, your heart softens. You stop projecting your inner battles onto the world. You listen more deeply. You judge less. Quickly, you understand that everyone is carrying something heavy, even when you cannot see it. In this way, self-compassion naturally flows outward. It becomes the ground from which empathy, patience, and love for others can grow. Inner balance is not built on self-criticism. It is built on gentle, steady care for your own being.